Hey guys, so today I am going to be showing you some products from the drugstore that I try on this face in this look. I typically am not a huge drugstore girl, but I was like, you know what? We need to show diversity in this channel. We need to show the high end, the low end, and everything in between. So here we are with some first impressions from the drugstore, and I will show you guys what I am trying out as we go on with the video. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to be testing out for you guys is the Milani Prime and Correct Primer. It is a color correcting primer in the green tone. So I'm just taking some on my hands. It claims to be oil free. It's got that, well, doesn't feel too silicone-y. Definitely has a little bit of it, but I feel like it absorbs. Either my skin's super dry, which is possible, or it just absorbs really quickly into your skin. I don't typically use a color correcting primer. I just feel like it's a little bit unnecessary. You're gonna put foundation anyways, so it'll even it out. But I did see this one at the drugstore and it sparked my interest. So it finished my face with kind of like a almost powdery finish. It doesn't feel tacky or anything, it just feels kind of powdery. Kind of interesting. The next thing that I'm going to be trying is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, matte and poreless, in shade 118. Full disclosure, I have not even seen if this matches me yet, so this could go really, really bad. The first thing I noticed that's a drawback is no pump. That to me sucks because it's not hygienic and it takes longer, I feel like, to get it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that guy on. I feel like the color's actually not too bad. I'm hoping that I like this foundation because the last foundation I tried from the drugstore was a total bust and I hated it. So when I bought this one I was like, please let me have one that works. So I have it on about half of my face. I feel like it definitely is doing really well over my pores right here. It doesn't cling on to them, which is good. But having to use a little bit more product than I would normally use, I think it's possibly because there's no pump. I just feel like I'm using more. I don't know. I'm gonna take it on the other side right now. The nice thing that I do notice is it doesn't feel heavy. It does really, it's blending really nicely and covering. I have never been one to like drugstore foundations, so that is why I make a point to try them. And when I do try them on camera, because you never know, like there could be that one. It just changes my opinion on drugstore foundation. I do feel like we pay way too much as women for makeup, but I still pay it, so it can't bother me too bad, I guess, right? I'm just taking a tiny bit more. I think the color is actually pretty good. I've probably said that like 6 times, and when I'm editing it I'll probably decide that it looks horrible, but it's, I feel like in the studio lights it always looks one way and then it looks a whole different way on camera and whatever. So I'm just taking a Morphe M439 brush with a little bit of the foundation and blending it down my neck. That way if it is totally the wrong color, at least there's not a harsh line on my neck. Definitely a pretty finish. I feel like it really did work on my pores. And it is a matte finish, but it's not so matte that it's like stark. You know, like the kind of matte where your skin looks like it's gonna flake off. But now, over top of that, another Maybelline product, the Even Better Skin Concealer. I am using the color, I almost said I'm using the color New. I'm using the color Light. So it claims to be Super Stay Concealer and Corrector. We shall see. Just gonna take that guy under my eyes. Huh. The people above me have children and they just let them run all around the house, so you can hear them stomping around. So this concealer is really yellow toned. That's the first thing that I noticed. But let's see how she blends out. I love that one piece of my bangs always creeps forward when I'm doing the foundation. It's not giving me like Tarte Shape Tape coverage, but I do feel like it's blending out nice. And for the color being so yellow, I do feel like it's actually pretty. So the one thing I don't have from the drugstore is a setting powder. Please kill me now, condemn me. I apologize, because I feel like that's something that can make a huge difference on your face. I'm working on getting one. I just haven't decided which one I want yet. And I don't typically go to the drugstore. It's just not something I do. So I feel like I'm never around it to pick it up. But I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder in shade 2 and just pat that on my face lightly. I feel like I'm going to have this powder for the rest of my life because you barely have to use any. Perfect. Next, I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Everyone and their mom loves this bronzer. We shall see. It smells really good. That's my first reaction. It does smell good. I'm taking it on a Morphe R2. It does blend really nicely. The color, I don't know how I feel about the color, but we will see. I have a Milani blush that I'm like super excited to try out. I ordered it off Amazon. I'm like, yes. And I can't believe Milani's coming into Ulta. I'm like, thank the Lord. Because I feel like it was in Target and then Target like pulled it or something. I don't know what happened, but I couldn't find it anymore in Target. And I was like, Milani used to be my girl, my go-to. Drugstore anyways. Okay. So, actually really pretty. Probably a good alternative to, drugstore alternative to the bronzer that I currently use, which is the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I just have never found anything that I like more than that. And I've tried a ton, I feel like. So, it gets on my nerves every time I try one and it sucks. But this one has been actually pretty good so far. The color looks really nice. Anyways, I'm going to take the Milani blush in Tea Rose. And now I'm wishing that I filmed a close-up of this before I destroyed it. There is a little bit of kickback with this guy, but then again it could be because I just dug my finger into it and disrupted it, but we shall see how she applies. That's a lot of color in one spot. Hope for the best. So I need to bring in a powder brush and blend it. I think that maybe because, like I said, I disrupted the palette or the blush. I can't speak because I disrupted the blush that it put a lot of color on my brush and then on my face in one spot. That's very possible. But anyways, the color is really pretty. I want to give her another try when I haven't recently shoved my finger into it while trying to open it. The next thing I am going to try is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in Precious Petals. I have not even opened this guy yet, so it's gonna take me a second. Can't say that I've bought anything from Wet n Wild in like seriously forever, so I'm excited to try this one out. I am taking it on a Morphe M15, so not a lot of kickback. Really happy about that. I feel like usually highlighters that are more affordable tend to have more like fallout, I guess. I don't know. My skin is literally having the weirdest texture where I just put that. I'm wondering, is it my skin? Is it the fact that the highlighter just pointed it out? I have been seriously battling dry skin since I moved to Utah, so that could be part of it. Or all of it, who knows. The color though is really pretty. Okay, drugstore. I see you. I see you. I see what you're working with. I'm gonna get up close so you guys can see. I'm hoping that it will show you the weird texture. Yes, right there. I'm just wondering what that is. Really strange. I don't know how I feel about this primer and foundation. I need it to like sit all day, so I'm gonna come back and do a check-in at the end of the day and tell you guys like what I actually think. But as far as things applying, butter bronzer, pass for me. It is, I don't know why I said pass. Butter bronzer passes my test is really what I was thinking. And so does the Even Better Skin Concealer. Although it's not a ton of coverage, I do feel like it did lay really nicely on my face. The Milani blush, I think, got jacked up because I opened it and shoved my nail on it, but we will see how it goes in another tutorial. I may keep her around. Actually, I will keep her around for sure and try again because Milani's blushes are usually really great. And so yeah, I did like the Wet n Wild highlighter as well in Precious Petals. I'm just like, what's with this texture? So that could be my own skin. It could be my own fault. Not sure how I feel about it, but I am going to do check-ins with you guys throughout the day. Hi guys, it is about 5, almost 6 o'clock, and I just got done filming a tutorial with this eye look. And I feel like my foundation looks super good. Everything that's on my face looks really, really good. I actually FaceTimed my mom and she was like, your makeup looks so good. Like, what is it? And I was like, drugstore. I was like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's drugstore. Like, I'm like, Mom, it's from the drugstore. And she was like, what? Because I don't normally like drugstore foundation and face products. However, I feel like so far so good. Okay guys, I am back and this is my final update and wrap up of this video. So basically, I don't know exactly what went astray. However, my face is having some kind of unusual texture, specifically on my cheekbones. So I'm not sure if it's the highlight, the primer. I tried too many different face products to really tell exactly which one it is, but I do not think that it is the foundation. I'm more leaning towards primer or the highlighter, potentially. But either way, I kind of want to try each of them out separately on their own. That way I can get a better grasp on what was going on with my face. But it is now about 10 o'clock, so it's been 5-ish hours since the last video, or the last update, but I will come in close so you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about. So the texture is really the worst through here and way worse on this side. But, and my lips look ranky. And I blew my nose so it's gone there. But everywhere else, like, is fine. It's just a lot of texture. Which I honestly feel like it's the highlighter, like, clinging on to, like, any pores that I have. and accentuating them. It's probably because it's not as finely milled as a higher end foundation or higher end highlighter. I'm just not entirely sure what's going on. So all in all, I am going to try all of these products again. I wouldn't say any of them were 100% fail. The highlighter I think clung on my face really oddly, but it could be a mixture of different things. So I kind of want to try each of them separately so I can really get a grip on what went wrong. So you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and leave me a comment below what you think it was, because I'm curious. And if you have a good drugstore foundation or a drugstore product for me to try, I would love to try it. See you guys next time. Thanks so much.